school season. It's a little bit different than normal, but you know we are still kind of going back to school. So all you guys moving into college this month, I have some tips on what to bring and what not to bring, and just based off my experience last year as a freshman in college. So if you're living in a dorm, this is going to be essential because it's a small space, so you gotta be a little picky on like what you bring, what you don't bring. So yeah, these are my thoughts, my advice. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so starting off with the things you should bring. Number one, a mattress pad. You're gonna need it. And I think that is actually something that you might want to spend a little bit more money on, just because, well, first of all, the dorm mattresses, if you can even call them that, they're not comfortable at all. So a really good mattress pad will just make your bed so much better. Like, I actually really liked my dorm bed last year. It was so comfortable. I splurged a little bit on a mattress pad and it was so worth it. Like, literally my bed was my safe place, so comfy. Some other dorm room related things. I would say a mini fridge and or microwave, if you can, are very essential. I think most schools have some kind of deal where you can like sign up to get mini fridge microwave combo for your room and then like return it at the end of the year. If not, I do think buying one is actually really going to be worth it. You're not going to want to go to the dining hall for every single meal, so having a fridge and a microwave, even if just for breakfast, is so helpful. You can do microwave mac and cheese, ramen, oatmeal. I would also get fruit once a week and keep that in my fridge. I would keep leftovers in my fridge, some drinks. Like, seriously, a microwave and fridge are going to come in a lot of handy, so I'd recommend getting those. Going off of that, since you are probably going to be eating some meals in your dorm room, get like 1 or 2 reusable plates, a bowl, maybe a couple forks, knives, a couple spoons. Don't get like breakable things. I would get like reusable plastic stuff from Target or something, but it's just a lot easier than keeping like paper stuff in your room. It takes up less space. But if you're eating in a room and you don't have a fork, that's going to be a really disappointing situation. So just get like 1 or 2 of each. You don't need a lot, just something cheap and easy. I guess this kind of depends if you have air conditioning or not, but I do think fans are really essential. Even if you do have air conditioning, honestly, like, just get a fan. You never know, especially if you have like a lot of people in your dorm room, which maybe will not be happening this year, but in general it can get a little toasty in there because it's a pretty tiny space. So fans are great. Also, just like to have it on you at night if the heat's on too high or it's hot outside. I think I had like 2 fans in my dorm room that I pretty much kept on like 80% of the time. So definitely recommend getting that. Another thing is extension cords. I didn't realize when I moved in that this was like gonna be kind of an issue, but usually there's like 1 or 2 plugs in the whole room and you're also sharing it with your roommate. And it's also usually in like a really awkward spot, so get a lot of extension cords, some long ones specifically. Personally, I had like 1 cord that was behind my bed, so I had to like really string it back there. And yeah, I think I had like 2 or 3 that I ended up using. Definitely a necessity. Do not forget that. You're definitely gonna need it. Obviously, you're gonna need to do your laundry, whether you've never done laundry before or you've been doing this your whole life. It's a little bit different in the dorm room just because of the limited space. So instead of getting like a laundry basket, I recommend getting something that's like easy to carry to the laundry room, like a laundry bag kind of situation. I got a big laundry bag and then I had a hook in my closet. I just hung it on. It took up very minimal space and it was very easy to carry. So yeah, I'd recommend a bag over a basket. Another thing I would definitely recommend bringing, which I kind of regret I didn't have, are a robe and slippers. Obviously I did like clean my floors, but it just felt kind of like dirty walking around without shoes on, and I didn't want to wear like my outside shoes all the time, so slippers would have been great. I would recommend getting those. And also just a robe to walk back and forth from the shower in, or even just like to hang around in your room before you get ready. Really wish I had one of those. I still need to get one for my house. I just really having robe envy, so I'd recommend getting those 2 things definitely. Another thing that I thought was really helpful to bring was just a lot of pictures from home. First of all, they make great like room decor. They're easy to put up, they're easy to take down, and they don't leave any marks on the walls. Also, it's just nice to have a bunch of like memories on your wall from home, especially if you get a little homesick in the beginning of the year. So pictures are a great move for decor and just like, you know, feeling closer to home. And finally, for things you should bring, I actually did not bring this and I regretted it a lot of times, but bring some like themed clothes for parties. I guess this depends on like how you feel about going out to parties. There's actually probably not gonna be parties this year, but in general, themed clothes for parties, like common party themes are like tropical themed, space themed, jungle safari kind of random things like that that you obviously wouldn't wear on like a daily basis, but you might need, and if you don't have, it's kind of disappointing. So bring some themed clothes. Okay, so now moving on to things you should not bring to college. First of all, high school merch. This includes like sweatshirts and t-shirts that with your high school name on it. You really don't need it. No one cares where you went to high school. Also, like, you don't need to bring your yearbook. It's just things like that that are like gonna take up room and that you're really just not gonna need in college. You can leave that at home. Another clothing thing, don't bring all of your fancy shoes / heels. You kind of only need just like a nude pair, a black pair. That's probably it. You honestly might not even need them at all, but I would bring 1 pair of heels, 2 maybe, probably not more. You're probably not more, they're just gonna take up space. Going off of that, I've heard a lot of people say that you shouldn't bring all of your fancy clothes or like nicer clothes. Personally, I didn't have that experience. Actually, when I got to school, I realized I should have brought a lot more nicer clothes. I think that's because I go to school in LA and just like the fashion environment's a little different. So that definitely depends on your school. If you're not going to school in a city, probably don't bring all your fancy clothes though. As for makeup, this is going to be a little different for everyone, but I would say you don't need to bring all of your palettes. Just bring like your everyday stuff, a couple things you'd wear for like a fuller face of makeup, but you definitely don't need a ton of eyeshadow palettes. It'll take up room and you'll probably find that you maybe use it like once the whole semester, so you can just leave that at home. Okay, so I actually did bring this to school and I never used it, and I saw some videos that actually recommended to bring this, but I don't think you need it. An iron / steamer, I just think you'll find that it stays in your closet, it takes up space, and you're probably gonna be a little bit too lazy to like deal with the whole iron situations. So a flat iron will get the job done, and yeah, you really don't need a full iron or a steamer. Just save your money on that. Some other dorm room things that I feel like you don't really need, like a bunch of small appliances, like a toaster, hot water heater, like those kind of things that you I guess can bring to your dorm room, but honestly I don't think you really need it. It's just gonna take up space. I don't even think they're really allowed, honestly, so you might get in trouble, and like honestly it's just not worth the money. You can just toast your bread in the cafeteria, get coffee through your meal plan. Like, you don't need a whole kitchen in your dorm room. I know some people bring printers to college, but I don't even think that's necessary. Some schools it's free to print. At my school it was like 10 cents a page, and I didn't even print that much, so the money I would have spent to buy a printer definitely would have been more than I spent to print things at school. Also, especially because I'm thinking most of you guys are online this next semester, you're not going to be printing out many hard copies, so just save your money on that. Next up, although I do think a vacuum is a good thing to have, don't get a full-size vacuum and get a little dust buster. It'll take up less space, it's easier to use, and usually they're cheaper too, so go for the smaller item definitely. You also don't really need to come to school with a bunch of school supplies. You don't really know what you're going to need until you get into your classes. Honestly, I just needed like notebooks. I used like an accordion folder, pens, pencils, but I feel like that really differs depending on what classes you're taking, so just wait and see like what you think you're going to need and then get it after. Don't bring a ton of school supplies to college. As for dorm decor, of course it is so fun to decorate your dorm room, but I would recommend don't go too overboard on the throw pillows. You'll find that it's a little bit annoying to like just throw them on the floor every time you get in bed, and it just makes it a little cluttered, especially if you don't feel like making your bed every day. The pillows will just kind of stay on the floor. It'll get annoying, so keep your throw pillows simple. I had a lot of throw pillows and it got a little annoying, so stay chill on that. And last but not least, as everyone probably knows going into college, dorm rooms are a little bit ugly and they do require a little bit of a makeover. Super fun. I had a blast decorating my dorm room. But make sure you don't get decor or wall decor specifically that's going to need a lot of hardware to hang up. First of all, you usually can't make any holes in your wall, so you don't want to deal with that whole situation. But also if you're replacing like screws with command hooks and strips and all that, it's just a little bit harder to deal with and also to take down. So just focus on like simple things you can easily put up, easily take down, and that will not damage your wall. Okay, so those are all the things you should and should not bring into college. Obviously, these are just my opinions and what I found that I needed and didn't need, so may work for you, may not. But yeah, that is my advice. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you want to see more college videos in the comments. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Also, I have an Instagram and a Twitter that are both Ella_Elbells, so be sure to follow me on both of those for more content, and I will see you guys next Saturday.